So today's video is going to be a first impressions review slash wear test situation. I know first impressions aren't always the best, but it's always like 50-50. I feel like a lot of people love them, some people don't. I don't know, for me sometimes I prefer like an in-depth review, but sometimes I enjoy first impressions as well. I mean, it honestly just depends. I love watching foundation first impressions, and that's what we're doing today. I'm also gonna give you guys a little bit of a wear test. I'm gonna come back at the end of the night to see how this foundation wore, because this is the brand new Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I got this giant PR package in the mail with this foundation, but now I'm starting to believe that this is the original foundation they have. They just got new packaging. Like the one that comes in the matte bottle, is this the same foundation? Am I a fool? Am I about to film a video on a product that is not even new? They have new packaging. Now it's in a glass bottle. Before it was in a plastic bottle, I believe, but now it's in a glass bottle. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer a plastic bottle, but that's fine. I'm just gonna go with it. We're still gonna do this video. Maybe you've been wanting to see a review on this. I don't know. Maybe I just secretly answered your thoughts. Subconsciously, you wanted to see this video. As usual, I'm gonna apply the foundation with a brush on one side and a sponge on one side, just to see which method of application I like better. I'm gonna prime my skin using my Becca First Light Priming Filter. Okay, so I'm gonna take the shade Buttercup. I was kind of swatching all of them on the back of my hand, and this one looked closest to my skin tone. I'm gonna use my Nude Beauty Blender. This thing is so thick, and I honestly don't remember. Oh, I think this might be too dark for me. Darn it. Oh, this is like thick and moussey. I don't remember how I felt about this when it was in the other packaging, in the plastic bottle. I don't think yeah, I used it, but I don't remember how I felt about it. I just remember people with oily skin really liked it, so I really kept away from it. But on the Sephora website, it says that it has a natural finish, so who knows. It's not that this color is too dark for me, it's just too yellow for me. I have a yellow neutral undertone, and sometimes when a foundation is too yellow, I look a little crazy, but... Okay, so that looks pretty good. It feels a little tacky, but it doesn't look too heavy or anything. I'm gonna take another pump. I did use one full pump on that side. Okay, yeah, I could definitely tell that you need less product when you're using a brush. Okay, so I used way less product with a brush. The Beauty Blender obviously soaks up a lot of product, but I didn't think I was gonna use so much less. Wow. This brush really applies the foundation with as much coverage as possible. I don't know how it does it, but it really is a full coverage brush. This is the IT Cosmetics Airbrush Full Coverage Complexion Brush, and yes, it's full coverage. I actually like how it looks on both sides. I think my nose looks better on the Beauty Blender side, but the rest of my skin looks exactly the same. So I think I would use the brush to apply it, since I do use less product and I get the same finish. The one thing I will say is that I'm already noticing it going into my fine lines. Like, I can tell this is gonna be a foundation that looks like foundation in a couple of hours. You know what I can do? Hold on. I can test out this CoverFX high performance setting spray that's supposed to make your makeup last all day. I can use this on half of my face, obviously, because we're gonna do a wear test on the foundation, and we wanna make sure that nothing else is affecting its performance. But maybe if I put this on one side of my face, we can see if this makes a difference at all. And then maybe it'll be kind of interesting, because at least one new product will be in today's video. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back to let you know what is on my face. Wait a second. Okay, so I do want to try this out, and I actually want to try it on camera. I just applied my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm going to test out the Marc Jacobs new Finish Line Perfecting Coconut Setting Powder. Invisible Finish Line Setting Powder. So this is what it looks like. I love the freaking packaging. It has very similar packaging to my Glossier powder that I love, where it has this stopper, so it makes it really easy and like less messy. So I'm gonna take my Juvia's Place angled little brush right here, and I'm gonna set down my concealer. Whoa, that made it so matte. Holy crap, that made that so matte. Oh my gosh, this is so smoothing. I'm gonna zoom you guys in for, oh, I forgot to zoom you guys in to show you my actual foundation. Okay, I'll do that now anyway. You can see the foundation on this side. And on this side too, it just has powder underneath my eyes. But I think this powder looks great. Holy crap, it feels so smooth. Let me zoom you guys in so I can show you. It makes everything really matte though. You can see the powder here underneath my eyes. It kind of like filled in my pores right here. as opposed to this side. Oh, I need to take off my mustache. Don't look at it. Oh my god, don't look at my nails either. I gotta do my nails. Oh, I'm gonna do that as soon as this video's over. For a super full coverage foundation, I think it looks pretty good. Doesn't look too heavy yet. Okay, I'm gonna set this under eye and then do the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished up the rest of my makeup, and I will be back later tonight to give you guys my final thoughts on this foundation, but I do have a couple things I want to say. The bronzer went on perfectly smooth, no problems over this foundation. I'm using the Marc Jacobs Tastic bronzer. I think it actually just came back in stock, and I think it's permanent now, I'm not sure. But I used this bronzer, I didn't put on any blush, but I used my Hourglass Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette, and I use this all the time. It's one of my favorite highlights, but I did notice on top of this foundation, because it's so freaking matte, the highlight looks a little weird. Like, it doesn't look like it's one with the skin like it usually does. I mean, it looks highlighted, it looks great, like it looks fine, but I'm used to seeing it look a little bit more dewy. This whole foundation combo with this underneath my eyes just made my face very matte, and I'm just like not used to it. For my eyes, I'm using a new product from Dose of Colors. They just recently released these Block Party eyeshadows. They're single eyeshadows, but they pack a punch. They're like glittery goodness, creamy eyeshadows. Oh my god, they're so amazing. I'm wearing Encore all over my lid right now. Like, this is literally the only thing I have all over my lid, and then I blended it in the crease. And then I have my Dream Street palette. On my lower lash line, I have Elfish, like smudged on my lower lash line, and then I have Mooney as my brow bone and my inner corner highlights. And that's all I did on the eyes, and then I just put on some mascara. I'm obsessed with these. I've only used like 2 of them, and I'm already in love. So I'm gonna apply some of this setting spray on half of my face. What do I use to cover my face? Let me just, okay, so I did notice that this spray isn't as smooth as the dewy or the illuminating one, but let's see. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just crazy. Ah, why did I spray that with my eye open? Ooh, it's feeling a little tight, which is actually what I pictured happening, because it does say it's a very long wearing formula. Not in a drying way or anything. I just can tell that I applied like a kind of setting spray. Okay guys, so yeah, I'm just gonna go on the rest of my day, and I will be back later to show you guys how it wore. Oh, hello friends. So in that last clip you saw, I had done my makeup and I was ready to wear it for the entire day, and I did, but the rest of the day did not go as planned, and neither did the next day. This is actually the next day. So I was filming the first impressions and the wear test on this foundation on Tuesday, and I wore throughout the entire day, but around late afternoon, Danny decided he wanted to watch all the Underworld movies. So I was laying on the couch watching all those movies, and I ended up falling asleep, and I didn't wake up till like 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I was like, I have to do an update on my foundation. But I was so dead tired that I knew I couldn't do a full update, so all I did was record what my face looked like at the end of the night, and I'm gonna insert it in a minute when I talk about the foundation, but I'm just explaining what happened. I did get a close-up of my foundation at the end of the night, so I gave you an update like around 2 a.m. and I completely forgot to tell you guys, when I finished all of my makeup, it was like 2:45, almost 3 p.m. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's like 11 hours. Okay, it was on my face for like 11 hours. That's crazy. But after I did my close-up, I washed my face, and I was gonna do the update the very next day and upload it, but I felt so bad all day yesterday. I could barely get out of bed. I couldn't put makeup on. Like, I had the worst anxiety and the worst like stomach aches. It was just a bad day yesterday. So I couldn't post my video, I'm so sorry. So I'm quickly filming it right now. I'm actually kind of glad that all of that happened though, because this is the second time I'm wearing the foundation on my face, and I feel like my opinion has changed just a little bit. And today I used it a completely different way. I kind of have a different opinion now. Not that I had a bad opinion first, but anyway. So in my PR box, I found this little paper thing, and it says, "One pump is all you need to effortlessly cover." And when I first put this on my face, I kind of did just like one entire pump on this side of my face and then half of a pump on this side. And even though it looked good, I started to notice as the hours went on that it did look really heavy on my skin. And that's definitely because of how much I applied. I 100% think less is more with this foundation. Today when I went to use it, I did my makeup like a few hours ago. When I did my foundation, I used this brush. I really took my time to work the foundation into the skin. I used only one pump for my entire face, and that's really all you need. And I was just going in little by little. I was really patting it in, stamping it into the skin, making sure I was really blending it into the skin. It's still full coverage, but it just looks like my skin, and it looks a lot more natural than it did the other day. So definitely work this in, work it in good, and when you do, I think it looks really, really pretty. Another thing, if you're like me, if you have dry skin and you kind of have like lines and crepiness and foundation really loves to sink into those dry lines, you definitely have to hydrate with this foundation. I found that using a really hydrating product underneath has really, really helped me with the fine lines. Like they're not sinking in as much. Also, I think this foundation looks absolutely beautiful once you set it with a setting spray, and not the kind of setting spray I used in the beginning of the video. I'm talking about like a dewy one. I actually used the CoverFX dewy setting spray today to do my makeup, but I used very little of it. I didn't wet my face like I did last time. This foundation just pairs really well with setting sprays. It just melts into the skin and it looks awesome. Water resistant, transfer proof. I agree that this is transfer proof. I was watching all the Underworlds on my couch and I had like my hand on my face the whole time, and you'll see in the close-up that it didn't really rub off of my face. So it's definitely transfer proof. It claims to be hydrating. It's not super, super matte to where your skin is like, but I wouldn't say it's hydrating. It's oil free and it has a natural finish. If you do blend it incorrectly, it does have a natural finish. So I mean, I would say my opinion on this foundation is I like it. I think for really glam looks, this is perfect. But for day to day, it's not my favorite. I prefer something lighter. But it's definitely gonna be something I do reach for in the future when I wanna really do my face, you know? I would give this foundation for me a B. A nice solid B. Let's talk about the other products I used. So this is the CoverFX High Performance Setting Spray. I only used it on this side of my face, but I'm gonna show you really quickly the close-up of my face. This is my foundation at the end of the night. I didn't retouch, I didn't do anything. You can totally tell that I'm wearing foundation, but like I said, I probably applied too much. And I noticed that the left side of my face didn't look any better than the right side. I know it's a high performance setting spray, but to me, it looks the same. There really is no difference. I don't know if it's because this foundation is already long wearing on its own. It doesn't need a long wearing setting spray. Maybe I'll put this to the test on top of a different foundation and we can try it again, because honestly, I just really didn't see a difference. The left side of my face looked exactly the same as my right side. I think this setting spray might have dried out my skin just a little bit, but I don't know. I don't want to make any harsh judgments just yet. I have to use it again. Also, I did notice at the end of the day that my skin looked extra dry here, like in this area. Not dry, but it looked extra heavy. There you go, not dry. Heavy, like it looked like I had a lot of makeup on my skin, and I don't know if it's because of this Marc Jacobs Invisible Finish Line powder. I only used that in this area here, and I feel like it made my skin look pretty heavy. I mean, I have dry skin, like I've said 1,000 times, and I have to work with powders, and some of them are tricky and a lot of them don't work for me, and I don't know if this is a powder that works for me. Maybe it would be better for you if you have oily skin, because it did look pretty matte. I don't know, because today I used the Hourglass Veil Translucent powder on top of my concealer, and it looked a little bit more lightweight. I don't know about this. Like, I loved it immediately when I put it on. I just have to play around with it. Maybe with like a light coverage foundation, something a little bit less intense, I'll probably like this more. Also, I know this is a foundation review, but I just want to tell you what else is on my face. I'm wearing the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but Makeup Forever released these amazing freaking eye, lip, everything pencils. These are the Artist Color Pencils, and they are multi-use. So you can use these on your eyes, on your waterline, on your lips, on your eyebrows, wherever you want to use these. Like, you can use these anywhere. There's so many colors. They even have whites, nudes, all the way down to like a black. And I'm wearing this color called Universal Earth in my waterline, and it went on super smooth. I usually don't like wooden eyeliners, but this went on really, really smooth. I also don't typically like wooden lip liners, but I used this one on my lips today. This is the only thing I have on my lips. It's called Completely Sepia or Completely Sepia. I don't know how you're supposed to say that. I always say sepia, but I think it's sepia. And the formula on these are really, really, really creamy. I mean, so far so good. So I've got that going on, and then I have the brand new Kat Von D eyebrow products in my brows. I have my Nude Sticks gel, because that gel is killer, it's the best. But underneath that, I have the Kat Von D Signature Brow Precision. You know, I don't find that my Miami accent comes out that much. Everybody tells me it does, but I really don't feel like I'm that Miami, except when I say the word precision. It's like impossible for me to say. Precision Pencil, and I have the shade Medium Brown. I really, really like this. It's kind of like a hybrid between those triangle tips and the regular like pointy tips. It's like round but kind of oval at the same time, and I really like the formula. It went on really nicely. And then I used the Dimension powder on top, also in medium brown, and I love it, love it. And then for my eyes today and for my blush and highlight, I'm wearing the new Tarte Aspyn Ovard Eye and Cheek palette. This is a very, very pretty palette. The mirror is amazing. I think the packaging is stunning. And these are very just soft, pinky, neutral shades. It reminds me of like a bridal palette. It's very, very, very soft, but I actually really like it. When I first got it, I was like, oh, you know, it looks like whatever. I have a bunch of things that look like this, but I really, really enjoyed it. I'm wearing Made You Blush as my blush. It's a really pretty pink. I just used very little. And then I have these eyeshadows all over the eyes, and I'm wearing Pure Soul as the highlight on my skin. And at first, when I swatched this, I did not like it because it does have like glitter in it, but when you put it on the cheeks and you set your face with setting spray, it looks beautiful. Like, it looks blinding, but not overly glittery. It's really nice, and I like it. So yeah guys, that completes this video. This was my first impressions review. Kind of not first impressions because I gave you my second impression. So this is like kind of like a review, you know? On the already existing, maybe pointless video, Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-hour foundation that I only tested for 11 hours, but ain't nobody trying to wear their foundation for 24 hours because I like to wash my face before I go to sleep. But anyway guys, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. If it's because of this Marc Jacobs invisible, okay, just dipped my nose into some eyeshadow. I have the brand new, and then I have these eyeshadows all over my face.